went back and looked at the film from yesterday. What stood out to you? What were you pleased with most from your group?
I think defensively, I thought we did a great job of understanding what the game plan was, executing it at a high level, being able to communicate with one another, and then the ball and the body movement was good. Obviously, Paulo got going, and I think that was huge as well. But I think our ability to move and share the basketball, we did a very good job there.
Coach, it seems like the sample size in this series so far is score 100 points or more, you got a good chance of beating the Cavs. Is that a message you preach to the team at all?
I think we're just continuing to hang our hat on the defensive end. And if shots fall, they do. If they don't, we've just got to continue to stick with the process of what we're doing. Continued ball movement, continued body movement, recognizing coverages that they're in. And I think it just continue to read the game is going to be a continued key throughout the series.
3 straight games where the defense has played kind of a little closer, at least closer to the standard, holding the team under 100 points. What stood out about the defensive effort across all 3 games so far?
I think our activity, our ability to get into the basketball, force them into some tough shots. The one thing that we cleaned up last night was the defensive rebounding. I think that's been a key for us in order to make sure we get out and get early run-outs because of we were able to finish possessions off.
How important is it to especially going up against another great defensive team, to get into your actions early and pick up that pace a little bit to get some.
I mean, with a great defensive team, the ball has to move faster than their bodies can because they do a great job of anticipating where passes are going. Their early help and their early rotation forces you to make quick decisions. So we've got to make sure we continue to do that no matter what's going on within the game.
How pleased were you that your guys kept their foot on the gas, basically from start to finish, didn't let Cleveland make any kind of run, and how key is that going forward in the playoffs?
Well, just knowing playoff basketball, games are never over. I think teams continue to fight no matter what the circumstances are, and our guys have to continue to understand that, and I think they did a very good job of that last night, knowing they were able to take care of home for one game. But again, I think it's just continue to do that consistently more than anything.
How much last night did your defense guard farther up court than it did in the previous 2 games? In other words, put pressure on the ball handler.
I think it was actually less full court than anything. I think we picked up more full court in those first 2 games than we did last night. I think we did a better job of getting into the ball a little earlier as the pick and rolls were happening. I think that was a big key for us. But I think our ability just to navigate the screens and know exactly where guys are on the floor, getting into the basketball is going to be very key, because they have, those dynamic guards that can get down the floor and down to the basket at any given time.
You mentioned before the series that Cheston's got the checkers compared to the regular season. Cleveland's going to come in with some adjustments tomorrow. How do you look to counteract those adjustments going in?
That's the beauty of the game, being able to feel that real time and understand exactly what they're doing in the moment. Being able to stand on what we've done and being able to do it at a high level. And as the game goes on, you'll figure out those adjustments.
Coach, there's so many emotions in game 3, obviously taking the first home playoff game in a long time. How does the team want to handle the performance of game 4?
You communicate that. You talk about what could be, knowing the performance that we had and how we played, but also knowing exactly how Cleveland's going to come out because of the score. Now, again, it is just one game, and we talked about being able to take care of home court. So our energy and effort and our attitude and our mindset walking into game 4 has to be similar, if not more, is what we're going to be able to do. Everybody's in a good space.
We talked about boys last night. The slow start, but then to overcome, just saw more and more baskets just made. Guys got more confidence. What does it say about the team? They put up their heads after another slow start, but they kept going.
They continue to learn from the experiences that we've been through because we've had a lot of slow starts, and their ability to not let the shot making or missing impact what they're doing defensively. And that's when we talk about being able to hang our hats on the defensive end, our level of focus in the game plan, our line of communication with one another, I think has been great. And so they're not being affected by whether shots are going in or not.
How do you describe Wendell's rebounding style? Is he a technique guy? Is he I'll let you talk.
I think he's a combination of both. I think to be a great rebounder, you've got to be able to have positioning. You've got to have an attitude of going to get the rebound, and then you've got to just have the ability to have a knack for where that ball's coming off.
When you look back at at the tape and how things maybe shifted with that lineup change,
I think Markelle said like there's just kind of a better flow with it. What did you notice kind of looking back at the team as far as how the team kind of fit in Wendell back with the starters and Jalen?
Well, I think there's a rhythm to it. Has been a rhythm throughout the year, and that's what we talked about pregame. We talked about it throughout the year. That when those two groups both find a rhythm with playing with and for each other, it's fun to watch, both defensively and offensively. Again, I think if they continue to do the right thing, both defensively and offensively, we give ourselves a chance on any given night.
We talked about it a little last night, but how much of an X factor was the Kia Center crowd last night?
You cannot describe it. I mean, our fan base and our fan support, and I will say it until I can't say it anymore, it is absolutely unbelievable, this fan support and how they get behind these guys and how much we thrive when that gym is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
You guys had an afternoon start in game one. You know, you had some afternoon starts throughout the year. Do you change your routine, or how do you kind of adjust to? I mean, they're adjusting to it too, obviously, but how do you adjust to the early time?
Well, our ability to walk through today and touch up on some details that we need to clean up on, some game time, in-game adjustments that we may make. But we had that when we played Milwaukee early on in the year. We had the 1 o'clock start there, now another one here. So guys understand what that is, the rest that they need, the recovery that they need, and the mental preparation that you have to do for an early game.
Coach Paolo had his first workout game. How special was it to see him throw a performance like that in front of the home crowd?
I mean, there's a reason he's an all-star, and to me, there's a reason why he should be all-NBA. It's just a young man that learns as the game is going on to read defenses, to read what teams are doing to him, his ability to get hot, but also to stay confident even when he just didn't have the first couple shots go in. I think his first basket was a falling down one on Evan Mobley that he saw go in. But again, I think his ability to let the game continue to come to him no matter what's happening throughout the game. Thank you, guys.
You guys look back at the film from yesterday. What did you like most about what your group was able to do in Game 3?
I think we just continue to stick together with our game plan of being physical, trying to take away the three from those guys and make it extremely difficult on their guards, and living with the bigs kind of scoring within the paint. And I think we just did a good job of making shots and sticking with it. You know, I think we started off still a little bit, not slow per se, but not making shots like we would want to. And we do a great job of staying with it, man. Even all series, you know, it's just still shooting shots when we're open, still, you know, passing to each other, making the right plays. So I think we've been putting ourselves in good position, you know, taking one game at a time, which is all that matters, you know. Now that that game's over, getting ready for the next one.
Markelle, Franz mentioned maybe a little bit more of a comfort in Wendell starting. To have J.I. back in the second unit, how did that impact you guys?
I mean, anytime you can be on the floor with J.I., obviously your defense goes up, your confidence on defense goes up. I think just the flow, man. I think that's the special thing about this team. We have so many interchangeable players, and the understanding as far as guys understanding, you know, we all support each other and we all just want to win. So whatever lineup that coach is comfortable putting out there, we all believe in it. But I think with Wendell and his defensive, you know, energy to keep Jared Allen off the glass, I think that really helped us. And then being able to have JR come in when he went out, I think it's just a crazy 1-2 punch, you know, whether it's JR starting or Wendell. So I just think it's one of the great things about our group, for sure.
A bit of a weight lifted now that you got one out of the way. Because going down 3-0 is obviously almost like a death sentence in the series. Does it just feel like it's good to get one out of the way, knowing how to do it now?
Absolutely. We did our job. We protected home court. Now we got to get ready for the next one and do the same thing. Go out there and find a way to get a win and then get ready to go on the road. But the most important thing right now is just this next game at home and making sure we take care of business.
How do you describe, Markelle, how about the way you guys played, you know, the game offensively and defensively? How much confidence does that give you guys heading into
A lot. I think a big part of it is obviously our fan base, you know, being able to have that energy there and just want to do great things for them. I think both games we did a great job defensively, but obviously I think that just the energy in the building, you know, with us being able to make shots and play together and, you know, really pull out a win like that, I think it's big for us. You know, again, going down 2-0, it's only 2 games like we all know, but again, taking it one game at a time, being able to get one now and try to add one more, just win this series out, so it's big time.
Now, how do you describe Wendell's approach on the boards? You know, what makes him effective there?
First of all, he's big and strong, so I think anybody that has to deal with that is going to have a long night, but I think what Dell does a good job of is just being in the moment and not worrying about points, not worrying about blocks, not worrying about his stats per se, but more so doing whatever it takes for our team to win. And he understood that Jared Allen had 2 amazing games. I think he had 18 first time, 20 the second time, or something like that. So that was our emphasis to make sure that he doesn't kill us on the glass. And Wendell took that challenge upon himself to, along with others, to help him out. But he took that challenge upon himself to make sure that he didn't get no rebounds. So
There were so many emotions riding high. First playoff game at home twice this time. How do you guys avoid the hangover?
Shoot, it's over, man. I think we're young too. We understand it. We kind of been playing in playoff-like games pretty much the whole end of the season. So we're hungry, man. We understand what's at stake. We understand that they got 2 wins on us at home, and we just want to protect home court. I think we've been doing it all season long. I don't think we lost that many games at home. So we really understand what's at stake and what it's going to take to get there.
Obviously, Cleveland's going to come in with a lot of adjustments after losing last night. How do you guys counteract those adjustments after everything went so well last night?
Just keeping it simple, man. Playing magic basketball. That's what we've been doing all year. Playing defense, playing for each other, then offensively shooting the shots that we have and playing for each other. I think that as long as we do that, we'll put ourselves in great position to go out there and compete and get a win.
You mentioned kind of finding that flow last night. How much just kind of a relief was it to kind of get into that flow and get into that rhythm again? And how does that just feel to kind of find that groove?
It's huge. I think for anybody, you put in so much work that you just go in the game and you're ready to produce and ready to see your work pay off. So sometimes when it's a little, not right away, you might be missing shots, you might be struggling. It kind of can get frustrating, but like I said, we all believe in our work, we all believe in the process here, and we know that the results will come because we all put in the work. So it's always good to pay off when you see your work paying off. So I think for guys, everyone in here, you just continue to put in the work and be ready for the opportunity.
Markelle, what does it do for the dynamic of any team when someone reacts to a lineup change like prior to the Milwaukee game as Wendell did?
I just think it speaks to the character of the guys on this team, man. I think we truly only care about winning. I think a lot of guys get caught up in playing time, get caught up in this, that, and third. And obviously, the human nature of it, you obviously probably have some frustration. But we all signed a contract in the beginning of the year, just understand that we're going to do what's best for the team and put ourselves in the best position for this team to win. So, again, we believe in everybody's ability on this team. We believe whoever steps on the floor can help us win a game. And I think we all just have that support system behind each other. And we actually care about each other, too. So that always helps.
How much of the atmosphere was an X factor last night at the TS Center for you guys?
I think it's huge, man. I think anytime you can, when you don't have shots falling and you can not hear a crowd booing and you have still a crowd cheering on your side, I think that definitely plays a factor a little bit. Obviously, you try to tune that out, but for those guys, I'm pretty sure that they weren't enjoying the crowd booing and talking trash and everything that the fans do. So it's definitely an advantage, and we want to continue to have that moving forward.
Markelle, since you've been here, would you say that was maybe the best atmosphere you've seen?
It's up there. When we first went to the playoffs, I remember against Toronto, that was another crazy time when DJ Augustine and Vooch and all those guys were here. But the Magic always do a great time at showing out. I think ever since Paolo got here and we kept moving forward and got better and better after the couple rough seasons, fans have been showing more and more support, and it's really dope to see. They've been through a lot, so it's dope to see them, the full circle and them appreciate everything that's going on.
What do you think of Paolo's first 3 games? 20 plus in the first 3 games. I know only LeBron's done that before.
I think you're just seeing a generational talent, man. I think it's a young guy who's hungry to be great, very humble, puts in the work, and just honestly wants to do whatever he needs to do to help his team win. And I think that's the dopest part about it, man. He's not out there chasing stats. He's not out there, trying to make anyone else feel below. He's just out there playing basketball, and I think it's super dope to see. And I'm just fortunate enough to have an opportunity to see something like this. Someone who's going to be great for a long, long time.
We know how much you love the game. Tonight, will you be watching some of the other players?
Oh, absolutely. As long as my kids are not bothering me, hopefully they can go down a little early. But it's been amazing games, man. All the series have been really fun to watch. You can always learn, and you never know. Obviously, you're not looking too far forward, but you never know who you might be able to see and match up against. So just trying to study the game and also just being a fan of the game, just watching great basketball. Thank y'all.
Maybe the secret.
What up? Dale, as you guys reviewed the film from last night, what were you most pleased with? What did you like about your group's effort in Game 3?
2 things. I feel like, first 2 games, we didn't shoot the ball that well, but we stayed confident in our work and trusted in our work. We continued to shoot the ball, and Secondly, we continue to play great defense. We've held this team under the average all 3 games, so I think we did a really good job on the defensive end of not letting the offense affect our defense.
How comfortable were you in the starting lineup for the starting playoff game?
I feel pretty good. The first 2 games, well, the first game, I ain't gonna lie, was an eye-opener for me. First time being in the playoffs for me personally. So after that first game, after the first couple minutes in the first game, it felt like a regular basketball game again. So it felt good being back in the starting lineup though, for sure.
When you say it was eye-opening, you just talking about playoff experience?
This experience and then being on the road, the Cleveland friends brought it both games. It was definitely a different atmosphere. So it was just like, okay, we're finally here now. Now it's just time to hoop.
Do you feel like the flow was there for the starting five?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
We played together, all season. Especially when I came back from my injury. We played well together. We got somewhat of some chemistry together. So it was like another basketball game for us. So it was good.
What have you learned in 3 games in just matching up with Jared Allen?
He's a phenomenal player. He just does all the little things. He crashes the glass every time down the court. Great rim protector. He's kind of that glue guy for that team. He just, when all else fails, he's going to do his job, and that's kind of the kind of player that he is, for sure.
Wendell, it seems like the interior play was a little better in Game 3. What were some of the differences compared to the first 2?
Physicality. I feel like we was a lot more physical than we were in those first 2 games. Being the first ones to hit instead of receiving the hits. I think that was kind of the difference maker for us in the 3rd game.
How do you describe? Go ahead.
How much confidence did a win like that give you guys heading into Game 4 tomorrow, knowing that the atmosphere is going to be very different?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of confidence, especially at home. Our fans had that spot rocking, and it just kind of shows you, what a difference can make, in the different arenas that you play in. When you're at home, you make a big time 3, you hear everybody, screaming. It just gives you a little bit more juice. So, we're super excited going into Game 4, especially the performance we just did in Game 3. So, I think we're going to be successful for sure.
Wendell, how do you describe your approach to rebounding and boxing out?
Especially after those first 2 games, my mental wasn't necessarily on scoring. Taking shots when they're open, but our biggest thing was just eliminating a lot of their second chance points. I feel like that was one of the reasons why we lost those first 2 games. Jared Allen was averaging like 6 or 7 offensive rebounds, and I felt like when you play such good defense for 24 seconds and they get an offensive rebound, that kind of deflates you. So I went into this game telling myself, whether I score 2 points or 20 points, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure they're not getting as many second chance opportunities.
Are you a physicality guy? Are you a technique guy, an anticipation guy, or?
Physicality, definitely the first thing. It's just an effort thing at the end of the day. You can look at the technicality of it, of when people shoot a certain spot, it's going to bounce off a certain way. But at the end of the day, if you're not physical, none of that stuff matters. So physicality is definitely number 1 for sure.
Wendell, what's the key to avoid a hangover in Game 4?
Huh?
What's the key to avoid a hangover performance in Game 4?
Just come out and be the first one to throw the punch. We kind of did that in Game 3, and our biggest thing is just winning first quarters. I think in Game 2 we won every quarter but the first one, and it kind of made it tough for us to come back in that game. So as long as we just throw the first punch, I think we'll be successful for sure.
And at the same time, you guys throw the first punch and you didn't relent.
Yeah.
The entire game, you just let them run. How big was that last night going into this? Just going to play off series in general, that kind of effort all out.
Yeah, it just sets the tone. When you understand that, you look at each game that it's a do or die situation for us, especially going down 2-0. We understood no matter what happens, we have to win this game by any means necessary. And unfortunately, it had to take us going down 2-0 for us to understand that. But I think it was a great learning experience for us that we can't take any games for granted. We got to come out and throw the first punch and not stop the whole game, the whole 48 minutes for sure. Yep.